Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the 12th installment, the 12th video of the For Beginners playlist. That playlist and another video from it will pop up on screen in the last 20 seconds of this video. Anyone that would be interested in making a small one-time donation, there is a PayPal link in the description of this video, and I thank you for your consideration. So for this is beginners. This is North American dip market overview. American dip market overview. We're going to take it over to the desk. I am going to show you written out sheets of the brands and who they are made by. I feel that a lot of people that are new, and some that aren't, that have been around for a little while, don't make certain connections. They don't connect that certain brands are from the same company, or that this brand here and this brand over here are not really on even par due to being from different companies. So this is just meant to be a quick overview of the whole market. It's nothing really in depth. At a later time, I will get into a more detailed version that shows parent companies and relations such as that. Anyway, with that, we'll take it over the desk. We'll take a look at basically the lay of the land, and then I'll bring it up real quick for a short ending. Back in a moment. Okay, so we are going to start with the United States Smokeless Tobacco Company. All right, U.S. Smokeless. So I have on these sheets lines. I have the company underlined, but then I'll have top tier, middle tier, bottom tier. These two lines here are denoting the difference. Some of these companies will not have bottom tier. Some of these companies will not have top tier. Some of them don't have top tier or middle tier, to tell you the truth. These are the tiering systems that I did during the original series for this channel. So in the top tier, you have Copenhagen, which is a product line. You have Skoal, which is also a product line. And then you have WB Long Cut, which is a single product. It stands out due to the nature of the product. I do have a couple of reviews of this, at least one review. There may be two. It is also stand out due to the fact that it is the only U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company product that comes in a pouch. Going down to the middle tier, sort of a quality budget line, you have Red Seal and Husky. They're both full product lines, however, they are not as large as Copenhagen and Skoal. U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company, you have upper tier and middle tier. Upper, for most of you, will be Copenhagen and Skoal, and the middle tier would be Red Seal and Husky. We will move on now to American Snuff Company. You have the recent release of a two-product brand, Levi Garrett Snuff. Keep in mind, for people new, this is not chewing tobacco. This is moist snuff. It's dip. You have Kodiak and then Grizzly. During the original series 5 years ago, Grizzly was in the top tier, and I have it as such now. That said, I believe if the series were to be all done again in a couple years, Grizzly would be in a middle tier. As for American Snuff Company's budget offering, it is middle tier and it is Cougar. Down here in this box is not third bottom tier. It's by itself, and that is Hawken. It is by itself because Hawken is in a round can, but is not dip. It is fine cut loose leaf chewing tobacco. Dip has a tax class on all cans. It's tax class M. If you look at a can of Hawken, it will be Class C. So Hawken is sort of the standout off to the side. All right. American Snuff Company, this is the brand lines from them. National Tobacco Company. They do not make much dip. All right. They have the Stoker's line that during the original series, due to quality of product, I incorporated it into the top tier. Although it is priced lower end of the middle tier. The only other dip that they make is a store brand for smoker-friendly stores, which are basically sort of a make-your-own, roll-your-own manufactured cigarette dealership that has franchises all over the country. All right, so National Tobacco, as far as dip goes, only has Stoker's and Smokers Friendly. The Smokers Friendly line is only 2 products. It is Long Cut Wintergreen and Long Cut Straight. I have reviews of both of them. Moving on to Pinkerton Tobacco Company. They have 2 product lines. There is no top line, although that is by their own design. In the middle tier, they have Timberwolf. And in the lowest tier, they have Longhorn. Lowest tier, as it goes, Longhorn in general is probably the most widely available, safest bet. Timberwolf and Longhorn, their Redman Dip series was discontinued. It is part of the original series I did for this channel. It is no longer around, so it's just Timberwolf in the middle and Longhorn down bottom. I say by their own design because Timberwolf, they actually down marketed in the 90s. Timberwolf was originally supposed to be a top tier product. They purposely moved it into a upper budget category. It was a corporate decision they made, I believe, in the mid 90s. Moving on. Swisher. Okay, so Swisher, as you see, has left blank the upper tier and middle tier and is going all in on bottom of the barrel budget. So you have the Creek line, formerly Silver Creek, Kayak, and the one-off product Gold River. Now, Creek and Kayak are both product lines. Gold River is a single product. Swisher used to have a number of others, at least 2. One was Cooper Wintergreen, no longer on the market, and one was Redwood Snuff, also no longer on the market. So you have Creek, Kayak, and Gold River. Tell you the truth, Gold River, it is questionable whether it is still in production. As for Smokeless in general from Swisher, they have now rebranded their Smokeless division as Helm Snuff Tobacco Company, or they may have just gone with Helm Tobacco Company. A lot of these brands were Helm products before Helm became no more, and Swisher bought the rights to them. So they've sort of incorporated a little bit of history into their Smokeless. Their Smokeless, unlike the Swisher General Corporate, which is in Florida, is headquartered out of Wheeling, West Virginia. And now, I haven't split this into... This is all third tier. In fact, some of it may be below third tier if there is a realm way down there. These are basically outliers, and they are Reservation Brands. So, last I checked, and I don't suggest you check, Sago had a product line of 3 products. They're out of, it's either Eastern Ontario or Southern Quebec in Canada. It is a Reservation Dip. I don't suggest you go there. Seneca used to have somewhat of an interesting line. They're out of, or were out of, upstate New York. It is also a reservation product. It is questionable whether they are in production. They went through some changes. They had contraction of the product line, and now seemingly it can't be found at all. So questionable again whether they are still in existence. They are many, many times better than the Sago, though. And then you have C&N Smokeless out of North Carolina. This is the makers of Cheyenne filtered cigars and Cheyenne everything else. Anyway, they actually have 3 product lines. 2 of them, the Decade and the Derringer, could be the exact same line with different stickers on the can. And then they have a loose air quotes upper tier product called Klondike. They're not terribly bad as far as there's nothing sketchy about safety or whatnot. They don't taste good, but they're not the worst I've tasted. But there is basically no nicotine in them. So pointless probably would sum them up the best. So Sago out of Canada, Seneca, northern New York, and C&N Smokeless with Decade, Derringer, Klondike. All of them are full product lines. The only standout thing about any of them ever was, because it's usually not in production by Skoal, Klondike did at least have a fine cut straight. And that is that. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to try to get the camera at an angle where we can see all of these in focus, preferably. Okay, and here we are. So this is what you got. Basically, you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major companies. These being 3 minor. And you know what? For the sake of this video, let's just take those off. Alright, so if I move this slightly over this way, sorry about the camera work here. These are the 5 companies that are making dip in the United States. U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company, American Snuff Company, National Tobacco, Pinkerton Tobacco Company, and Swisher, which is going for their smokeless division as Helm Snuff. Helm Tobacco Company. They did switch that part. Helm is spelled Helme. All right. As you can see, the Pinkerton and Swisher are bringing up the rear here. The premium products are the U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company and American Snuff Company. Out of the 2, U.S. Smokeless Tobacco Company, I believe, takes it for no other reason than they have sell-by dates on the cans. Personally, my favorite is Stoker's from National Tobacco. Keeping in mind, I put it in the top tier due to quality, but price-wise, it's probably at least in the middle tier. That's it. Again, the Hawken is down here squared off by itself from American Snuff Company due to the fact that it is actually fine-cut, loose-leaf chewing tobacco. All of what you see here, plus that, has been reviewed on this channel. All of them. Including more that are no longer in production. Tough Guy Chew being one, which was like the Hawken loose leaf chew in a round can. But all of these full product lines have been reviewed to the best of my knowledge. Anything that was in production in 2018, 2019 has been reviewed. For people new to the channel, what you want to do on the home page of the channel, you want to find the playlists page. And the playlist page will have each series. Series number 1 was Long Cut Straight. Series number 2 was Long Cut Wintergreen. Series number 3, I believe, was Long Cut Natural. Series number 4 was Long Cut Mint. But the series went up to 13. All right. With that, I will bring it back up top and close this out. Back in a moment. And here we are. So, I know if you get into a place that has a good supply, it seems like an endless amount of products, etc., so forth. It seemed like that to me when I started this channel. Turns out not really. At the time, I believe I had it at 149 products, including the Hawken. There's not 149 now. Yeah, Copenhagen came out with Reserve. Kodiak's line was extended by 4 products, which have now retracted 2. All of Tough Guy was lost. All of Outlaw Tobacco was lost. So really, even with the add-ons of the 2 Levi Garrett products and the ones I already mentioned, I doubt there's 149 products or anything close to it. It's probably the low to mid-20s, 125, something along those lines. So it seems like, oh man, there's, endless, like, not really. It's not really. I was uploading every day at the time when this channel started, but I believe I ran through every dip product in 6 months, something along those lines. And I was intermixing by that point, going through those 6 months. I was already intermixing chew. So, yeah, there's a lot of choice to deal with, but when you look back at, like, when you look at it like this, not really. It's really 5 companies that have multiple brands that have very close to the same product lines. Like a Long Cut Wintergreen, a Long Cut Straight, a Long Cut Mint, a Long Cut Natural, a Fine Cut Natural. Skull deviates into fruit blends. Copenhagen deviates into dark tobacco seasoned stuff like Reserve, Black. They all have something. Then you get over to Timberwolf, and it's got a bit of the fruit, not really. So it's sort of like, hey, I think they were going for Skull with the Timberwolf type deal. But really, you're going to find common themes no matter the brand. No matter the brand, it depends which one of the Long Cut Wintergreens vibes the best with you. Has enough nicotine, or has nicotine low enough where you don't feel ill, etc. and so forth. So with that, I am going to cut this short. I do hope you are all well. I hope this has been helpful. As always, do take care of yourselves, and God bless.